What happened to Carl Hooper? The elegant captain who disappeared from the spotlight. Some of the greatest players who ever lived say this man had more raw talent than Brian Lara and Sachin Tendulkar combined. And yet most cricket fans today have never even heard his name. His name is Carl Hooper, and his story is not one of failure. It's one of a man who had it all, walked away from it more than once, and then vanished so quietly that almost nobody noticed he was gone. Stay until the end, because the reason he disappeared is stranger and sadder than you'd expect. If you love sports stories about talent the world let slip away, hit subscribe now. Carl Hooper was born in Guyana in December of 1966. From the very beginning, people who watched him play knew he was different. He made his Test debut for the West Indies in 1987, on a team that still had legends like Viv Richards and Gordon Greenidge in the lineup. In just his second Test match at only 21 years old, Hooper scored a century. Effortless, elegant, the kind of innings that makes an entire stadium go quiet and just watch. People started calling him the most naturally gifted batsman since Richards himself. Years later, Brian Lara, one of the greatest batsmen who ever lived, said something that stunned the cricket world. He wrote that Carl Hooper was the most talented player he had ever seen. Not himself. Not Tendulkar. Hooper. Lara said flat out, not even Tendulkar and I would come close to that talent. Think about that for a second. One of the two greatest batsmen in history is saying someone else had more natural ability than both of them combined. That's the level of talent we're talking about. So here's the question. If Carl Hooper was that good, why isn't he a household name? Why did his career end in the mid-30s for his batting average, a number that belongs to a solid player, not a legend? The answer is what made Hooper one of the strangest stories in cricket history. He was, in the words of people who covered him for decades, an enigma, a total mystery, brilliant one day, careless the next. He could smash the best bowlers in the world into the stands, then get out to a soft, lazy shot minutes later. Nobody could ever predict which version of Carl Hooper was going to show up. It wasn't just about skill either. Hooper seemed to carry the weight of the game differently than everyone else. He rarely smiled after 100. He rarely looked upset after getting out. Teammates and reporters described him as quiet, almost distant, like his heart wasn't fully in the spotlight, even when his talent put him right in the middle of it. During a tough tour of England in 1995, Hooper actually told his team manager he was mentally and physically exhausted and asked to leave the tour early. The team sent him to a sports psychologist. That's how deep the toll was. This wasn't a man chasing fame. This was a man who seemed almost uncomfortable carrying it. Then in 1996, Hooper pulled out of the World Cup. Cricket fans were furious. Here was arguably the most talented player in the world, walking away from the biggest tournament in the sport. It happened again in 1999. Right before the World Cup, Hooper walked away again, this time announcing his full retirement from international cricket, just 3 weeks before the tournament started. And here's the part that really tells you everything about his story. When the crowd in Barbados heard the news of his retirement, they didn't cry. They cheered. A crowd that once nicknamed him Sir Carl was celebrating the end of his career. That's how frustrated people had become with a man who had more talent than almost anyone on earth. But behind that retirement was something the public didn't fully understand at the time. Hooper's young son, born to his Australian wife Constance, had gotten seriously ill back home in Adelaide. Hooper wasn't just tired of cricket. He was a father whose child needed him on the other side of the world, while he was expected to perform for a nation that demanded perfection from him every single day. He chose his family. At 32 years old, with a batting average still stuck in the 30s, it looked like the story of Carl Hooper was finished. A tragic case of talent that never turned into legacy. Then came the twist nobody saw coming. In 2001, 2 years after walking away for good, Carl Hooper came back. Not just as a player, as captain of the West Indies. The same board that had watched him quit not once, but twice, handed him the leadership of a struggling team that desperately needed saving. Fans were skeptical. Why trust the one man who had already turned his back on the team twice before? And then something changed. With the captaincy on his shoulders, Hooper became a completely different player. His career average had been stuck around 36. As captain, it jumped to nearly 46. In one unforgettable innings against India in Guyana, he scored 233 not out, the highest score of his entire career. He led the West Indies to series wins over India and New Zealand. He captained them to victory in a tournament final against India in Zimbabwe. For 2 full years, the Enigma finally looked like the legend everyone always believed he could be. It was like giving one man full responsibility was the only thing that had ever unlocked what was inside him the whole time. But cricket, like life, doesn't always reward a comeback with a fairy tale ending. In 2003, Hooper led the West Indies into the World Cup. The team failed to make it out of the first round. It wasn't really his fault. Most experts agreed he barely put a foot wrong as captain that tournament. But results are results, and shortly after, Brian Lara was handed the captaincy back. Hooper was still good enough to be kept in the squad as a player for an upcoming series against Australia. Instead, he walked away one final time. He said he wanted to give a younger player his spot. No dramatic press conference. No farewell tour. He just quietly closed the door on a 16-year international career and never looked back. After that, Carl Hooper didn't chase the spotlight the way most retired stars do. He played a little more county cricket in England, finishing up with Lancashire in 2004, then packed up and moved permanently to Adelaide, Australia, where his wife and son were already living. And that's where the story gets quiet, really quiet. No tabloid headlines, no reality shows, no bitter tell-all interviews about the game that never fully appreciated him. Instead, Hooper built a completely different life. He invested in businesses in Australia and overseas. He got his official coaching certification through Cricket Australia. He worked with local cricket clubs in South Australia. He did some commentary work here and there. In 2011, West Indies cricket finally brought him back, this time as a batting coach at their high-performance center. He later coached in the Caribbean Premier League and was even considered as a national team coach. But none of it came with the noise that surrounded his playing days. He simply went to work every day helping the next generation, far from any spotlight at all. And that might be the most fitting ending to Carl Hooper's story. He was a man who never seemed to want the fame that came with his talent in the first place. When he had it, he seemed uneasy carrying it. When he stepped away from the game for good, he didn't run from cricket. He just ran from the attention. He kept coaching. He kept helping young players. He kept living a normal, private life on the other side of the world from the stadiums that once chanted his name. So what really happened to Carl Hooper? He didn't fall from grace. He didn't get caught in a scandal. He didn't lose his skills to injury or age before his time. He simply had a level of talent that made the entire cricket world expect greatness from him every single day. And he never wanted that pressure in the first place. Somewhere between a genius with a bat in his hands and a quiet man who just wanted to take care of his family, Carl Hooper chose the quiet life. And honestly, maybe that says more about him than any batting average ever could. So here's the real question. Do you think Carl Hooper wasted his talent, or do you think he made the right choice by walking away for his family? Type your answer in the comments, hit subscribe for more stories about legends the spotlight forgot, and share this with someone who has never heard the name Carl Hooper, because his story deserves to be remembered.